Here's another one of my teams for Pokemon Synergy. I'll call this one Wonderful. Some people may know what it's referring to. And I realized that in order for this gimmick to work better, especially in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I had to lead with the Arcanine. Unfortunately, after about a week of running this, trying to get the best battles that I could, trying to show off Smeargle's last move, more and more people started running the Rock Slide Garchomp. And since that was a direct counter to this, I had to stop and continue testing other teams. Arcanine's Intimidate, it'll hurt the Alolan Marowak. Tapu Fini, it's special, it gets off the Misty Surge, it doesn't care about Intimidate. Arcanine switches out. This is the gimmick that I added on to the strat. Arcanine resists... Arcanine's only shared weakness with Shedninja is Rock type. Hence why Scarf Chump with Rock Slide was such a huge counter. And here's the gimmick if you don't see it coming. Audino has Entrainment. I wanted to scope out that Marowak and it had Lightning Rod. This was not the Rockhead variant, and I couldn't use any electric attacks. And I had one. Sorry I didn't have the proper skip, but Tapu Fini, it uses Twinkle Tackle. It's not aiming for the Shedninja, of course it hits the Audino, but Audino doesn't go down. He's not smart enough to realize I want Trick Room. He hits the Shadow Bone onto Shedninja. It's a Focus Sash. He probably should have seen that coming. And here's the Mimic. This is legitimately the only way to get Wonder Guard off of the Shedninja aside from transforming into it. And Trick Room is now up. Tapu Fini, it's afraid of what can happen under Trick Room. It uses Protect. Shedninja, it's slow. It uses Entrainment onto the Audino. Most people, you'd usually switch into Arcanine right now. But I wanted to be super safe. I gave it to the Audino. Here's the Shadow Bone. And it goes. And Shedninja, it has only 1 HP. Focus Sash is used up. It goes down. Audino, I gave it after you as a bit of bad manners, saying, "Oh, you want to try something? You want to try something?" And here's a Smeargle with the Air Balloon. You probably see what's going to happen already. Opponent switches out the Marowak for Slowbro. Here comes the Entrainment. That's right. When I say Wonderful, the team is full of Wonder Guard. That is an Audino, a Shedninja, and now a Smeargle with Wonder Guard. It gets off the conversion, and it becomes an electric type, only weak to ground. Problem is, Air Balloon, it's immune to ground. It cannot be hit by anything other than status. Kartana is switched in, probably a little late. Smeargle has lost its weakness to fighting. Marowak is switched in as well. He saw that I was electric off of that conversion. And here's the shift gear. Agility plus Howl. A little better than a Dragon Dance. Mist disappears from the battlefield. I can now status my opponents. Marowak uses Bone Meringue, trying to hit that super effective Smeargle. Unfortunately, Wonder Guard plus Air Balloon, and the Toxic is now set onto the Marowak. He is slowly going to lose his electric immuner. Sacred Sword comes out from the Kartana. I have the Choppleberry. I did that on purpose. And Audino goes down. It could not survive that hit. Audino, it has the Trick Room, Entrainment, After You, and Toxic. This Smeargle, you saw the shift gear. It has Entrainment, obviously. It has Conversion, and the electric type move is actually Zing Zap. Cannot paralyze the opponent, and instead has a chance to flinch. And it's physical, so that's why I'm running the shift gear over the Quiver Dance. Another option for this team might be Quiver Dance with an electric type special attack. Just make sure that it cannot paralyze opponents. And here's the Entrainment onto the Arcanine. The Kartana, it wasn't to lead. I expected it did not have Focus Sash. I knew it would have Protect, so I used Burn Up onto the Marowak. As a pure Fire type losing its Fire type, Arcanine now has no weaknesses, and it has the Wonder Guard. It is immune to everything except for status effects. Arcanine, it's good. Smeargle, it's good. Arcanine, it has Burn Up. I considered giving it Z Burn Up so I can use it a second time, but Alum or Citrus Berry seems safer. It has the Substitute, the Will-o-wisp, the toxic and the burn up. So it can phase all but steel, fire, or poison fire Pokemon. And it can outlive them just naturally. Marowak, it's going down to that toxic. Kartana, if it was sashed, it lost it, and the opponent forfeited before I can use Zing Zap to find out. Up next is May. Interesting set right here. She tried to go for something gimmicky, but it didn't work out the way she might have hoped. There's a Staraptor on her team. I was expecting Final Gambit, U-Turn, or Superpower, likely Scarved. And let's see what happens. Here's my Audino and Arcanine. Love that Premier Ball. I always try to breed onto Premier Ball if I can. There's a Staraptor. It has Intimidate. I am not a physical attacker on either of these. I'm fine. Here's my Intimidate. The Staraptor is either speed tying or faster than the Arcanine. I figured it might be Scarfed. Pretty likely. Might Final Gambit the Arcanine. So let's switch out. Here in comes the Shedninja. It is immune to the fighting type. And then the Latias uses Reflect type. It becomes a pure normal. Probably wanted to avoid a Fairy, Ghost, or Dark Stab, since the Arcanine can get the Snarl. And I use Entrainment. I figured that if anyone on his team had Earthquake, I might as well make the Latias vulnerable. Latias, it has a Side Shock. It didn't try to double down onto the Shedninja. Staraptor had the Brave Bird, so it was not scarfed at all. Shedninja survives on the Focus Sash. You know what this means. I get my Mimic. Audino, you're mine now. I got Entrainment again. And Trick Room occurs again. Those fast Pokemon are now the slowest on the field. Shedninja, it's going to get off that Entrainment. And I do it onto the Audino. Regenerator gets replaced with Wonder Guard. And I get off my Toxic onto the Staraptor. Staraptor I kind of feared more than this weird doing Reflect type Latias. I have expected it might have that Synchro Noise move that allows it to hit anyone who shares a type with it. I wasn't sure. But that was a close combat. Choppleberry onto the Audino. And now the Latias is targeted the Staraptor with Reflect type. I figured he probably did have an Earthquake user, and he was trying to be safe. I decided to switch out the Shedninja immediately into the Smeargle, because that Staraptor, it was going to target Audino with close combat. I didn't want to risk losing it. And Smeargle, it has the Wonder Guard now. Brave Bird onto the Shedninja. It's now the Smeargle normal type with Wonder Guard. It immunes. And then this Latias is just being annoying. I don't know what its purpose is. It had the Charm. Smeargle's now at -2 attack when I actually am a physical attacker, funnily enough. Switches out the Toxic Staraptor in for a Sceptile. I Toxic the Latias as well. It's getting annoying. I want it out. And Smeargle uses the conversion with the air balloon still intact. I get off my perfect immunity Smeargle. Well, except from Gravity and 1,000 Arrows. Oh, and anything Mold Breaker. My attack's now at -4. It'll take me a while to get back up, but I mainly chose Zing Zap for the flinch, not for the damage. Switching out again into Delphox. That's a Mega Sceptile coming up. This is going to be a little bit long. I am not speeding it up at all. And I use my Toxic again onto the Sceptile. This is a fun little strat. It works really well, but in order to get Mimic onto Shedninja, you need any 3rd generation game and Shedninja that you're happy with. It took me a while of breeding to get one with less than 2 IVs in speed and the right nature, but I got it. I think that was a Drain Punch from the Sceptile. It hit the Audino, but not for much. Twisted dimensions return to normal. I've got my shift gears in. I'm getting them in as well. I'm going to be faster. I'm going to save the Arcanine. But like I was saying, you need this Shedninja to come from Gen 3. Luckily, if you don't want to spend time actually figuring out the IVs in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Colosseum, those are all places where you can get the Mimic, I believe. You can evolve the Nincada into Ninjask, get the Shedninja, and the Shedninja, and transfer up the Ninjask to see what IVs it has. I just wand you to forfeit again. If you like it, feel free to try it. Good luck.